The sun and moon, the waxing and waning of the moon. This is according to the book of Enoch. And the names of the sun are the following. The first, Ogeris. The second, Thomas. The moon has 4 names. The first is Asanya. The second is Ebla. The third is Benaz. And the fourth is Array. These are the 2 great luminaries. Their circumference is like the circumference of heaven, and the size of their circumference of both is alike. In the circumference of the sun, there are 7 portions of light, which is added to it more than to the moon. And in definite measures, it is transferred until the 7th portion of the sun is exhausted. And they set and enter the portals of the west and make their revolution by the north and come forth through the eastern portals on the face of heaven. And when the moon rises, 1/14th part appears in the heaven, the light becomes full in her. On the 14th day, she accomplishes her light. And 15 parts of light are transferred to her till the 15th day her light is accomplished, according to the sign of the year. And she becomes 15 parts, and the moon grows by the addition of 14 parts. And in her waning, the moon decreases on the first day to 14 parts of her light, on the second to 13 parts of her light, on the third to 12, on the fourth to 11, on the fifth to 10, on the sixth to 9, on the 7th to 8, on the 8th to 7, on the 9th to 6, on the 10th to 5, on the 11th to 4, on the 12th to 3, and on the 13th to 2, and on the 14th to half of a 7th. And all of her remaining light disappears wholly on the 15th. And in certain months, the month has 29 days and once 28. And Uriel showed me another law when the light is transferred to the moon, on which side it is transferred to her by the sun. During all the period during which the moon is growing in her light, she is transferring it to herself when opposite the sun during 14 days. Her light is accomplished in the heaven, and she is illumined throughout. Her light is full in the heaven. And on the first day, she is called the new moon, for on that day the light rises upon her. She becomes a full moon exactly on the day when the sun sets in the west, and from the east she rises at night. And the moon shines the whole night through until the sun rises over against her, and the moon is seen again over the sun. And the sun, on the side whence the light of the moon comes forth, there again she wanes till all the light vanishes, and all the days of the month are at an end, and her circumference is empty and void of light. And 3 months she makes of 30 days, and her time she makes 3 months of 29 days each, in which she accomplishes her waning period in the first period of time, and in the first portal for 177 days. And in the time of her going out, she disappears for 3 months of 30 days each, and for 3 months she appears of 29 days each. At night she appears like a man for 20 days each time, and by day she appears like the heaven, and there is nothing else in her save her light. And if you're not into the book of Enoch, you don't have to take Enoch's word for it, because you can go outside and observe the sun and moon for yourself. The sun is over here today. The moon is almost directly across it back here somewhere, but you can look and see the sun and moon in the sky at the exact same time. So we're going to pretend like this is the sun and this is the moon. When these are in the sky and they are directly across from each other, the sun is transferring its light to the moon. And when I'm talking transfer, I'm not saying spotlight. It's not a spotlight. It's transferring it just like the moon is a glow-in-the-dark sticker. It's transferring it that way. as the sun is moving in the sky, it's not transferring. It's just like if I was shining a light on this glow in the dark sticker, and I only shine the light on half of it. So only half of the sticker will glow. So as the sun is moving across the sky, and I mean, it is directly across the sky when we have a full moon, and it's usually around the 15th of the month. But sometimes the sun is right next to the moon. Now, if I set a flashlight right here, right next to this moon, is this moon gonna glow? No, it's not. So even though it looks like the sun is really close to the moon and should be transferring the light, unless it's facing the moon, like a flashlight facing this glow in the dark sticker, it's not transferring. And when it's waxing and waning, it's definitely observable that the sun could very well be transferring light to the moon, just like the Book of Enoch explains. So when you're observing the sun and moon in the sky, just notice around the first of the month, they're pretty much right next to each other, and the moon is almost invisible. During the 15th of the month, you're gonna see a full moon every month, a full moon. And it's consistent. It does the exact same thing every day, every month. And also, since we have this compass here, let me just show you something. There are two magnetic ends, not just one, two magnetic ends. There's a north and south magnetic end, and this is not pointing to some big, huge mountain in the north, in the center of the earth. This is pointing to dipoles in the earth, the magnetic dipoles. The entire earth is magnetic, and that's how we navigate with this. So the earth should align with this compass, just it should fit right inside of this compass. Here is a photo of real photos of exactly what the moon is doing every single day. And you can see that when only a sliver of the sun is in front of the moon, only a sliver of the moon is lit up. And it's very consistent. So just look up, and I want to know what you guys think. How do you think the moon is illuminated?